this going to help small businesses?
So the broadband, it's $1 billion in broadband rollout around the UK. So that's a good thing. As I say, people in rural areas who have thought that economic prosperity has kind of not been open to them because of it. So that's good. And overall, we think this is a very good move because the UK has started to get a little bit behind. And you may have heard this, that kind of countries like Korea, because they haven't had the infrastructure that we've got here, they've leapfrogged and gone kind of straight onto mobile. So this is good. We've actually got a very good digital minister in the UK, a guy called Matt Hancock. He used to be in the business department, so he's got a great knowledge of business. And part of the billion is there's a £400 million fund for innovative fibre providers. So I think when you think of the rollout of broadband across the UK, ultimately you think of BT, Virgin Media, so kind of the big companies. But actually they're going to give 400 million to say let's try and spark some innovation. So it's good because Britain's economy kind of needs to make sure it's on the front foot. Small businesses need access to broadband both in their homes and also in business premises. So this is the one thing that in the statement we thought it was a good thing. This came out a couple of days ago, so it wasn't a new necessarily announcement today, but we think it's a move in the right direction.
Okay, perfect. And Simon, what about for the everyday person? How's this 5G trial going to help them?
Well, broadband is considered one of the essentials now, isn't it? I believe that it is actually officially considered an essential. It's
really?
essentially like a utility. It's like
Wow.
your water, your heating. Yeah. So if you live in an area where you're hit by terrible broadband, it does disadvantage you. It disadvantages you in terms of your lifestyle. It disadvantages you in that you may not be able to tap into the competition that can offer you the choice to ditch your expensive TV package and just take out a Netflix or a Now TV or a Amazon Prime, as many people will have done to watch Jeremy Clarkson at the weekend. It also limits your ability to think about starting up a business from home, as Emma was talking about. Lots of people have started up businesses from home. It doesn't have to be a full-time job. Lots of people have started up businesses from home that they're just making a little bit of extra money from. But if you've got lousy broadband and it doesn't work properly, that's going to be pretty difficult. It's also, there's a scenario where maybe there's been a bit of sneakiness going on from the broadband companies. So to give you a personal example, my parents live up a country lane, and basically some years ago my dad was sold fibre optic broadband by one of the largest broadband providers, I won't name names, who basically, and actually it was BT, I will name them. It's BT basically. He was sold sort of fibre optic high speed broadband, and I remember my brother saying to him, "Are you sure you're getting that?" And he's like, "Well, dunno." Anyway, it turned out that basically the high-speed fibre optic broadband stopped at the bottom of the lane, and then it just came up the normal pipes to the house. So, I mean, in theory, it was high speed. In practice, it was never high speed. And there's lots of people, pockets of them, affected by this. And I mean, they were lucky; their broadband's okay. But there's people out there living in areas whose broadband is absolutely lousy. And rolling this stuff out to people will genuinely make a difference. It doesn't sound like a huge thing, but it will genuinely make a difference.